Horror flicks are back in the spotlight, with sequels seemingly ruling the roost at the box office. What does that say about our love for familiar scares? Let's unpack this weekend's cinematic showdown, where one chilling follow-up might just be the ticket to a spooky win, while others fizzle out like a damp Halloween candle. Stick around to see how the numbers stack up, and why some films are thriving, while others are struggling to catch a break. Blumhouse Productions. Latest spine-tingler, Black Phone 2, is ringing in some serious cash, pulling in $10.7 million from Friday shows and early previews. This sets the stage for a commanding #1 spot at the box office. Universal Pictures is screening it in a whopping 3,411 theaters across North America for the opening weekend, with forecasts pointing to a solid 3-day haul of $24.4 million. That's right in line with pre-weekend buzz and even edges out the original Black Phone, which kicked off with $23.6 million back in 2022. The sequel, featuring Ethan Hawke reprising his role as the terrifying serial killer dubbed The Grabber, is getting an extra boost by securing premium large format screens. Think those fancy IMAX or Dolby Cinema auditoriums with pricier tickets from Tron Aries. For beginners wondering about this, large format options make movies feel more immersive, like stepping into another world. And they often charge more per ticket, helping films earn bigger bucks right out of the gate. And this is the part most people miss. Blumhouse is banking on Black Phone 2 to turn their year around after a bumpy 2025. Their slate included disappointments like Wolfman, The Woman in the Yard, Drop, and M3GAN 2.0, each made on a budget-friendly scale, but none of them exploded at the theaters the way they hoped. This R-rated sequel, directed by Scott Derrickson, is poised to be Blumhouse's biggest opener of the year, though it comes with a heftier $30 million production cost. But here's where it gets controversial. Do studios like Blumhouse rely too heavily on cheap sequels to recoup losses? Or should they invest in bolder originals that might flop harder but spark more innovation? It's a debate worth chewing on, especially as critics and viewers are giving it thumbs up, albeit a notch cooler than the original's reception. Cinema Score, a quick poll from moviegoers, gave it a B grade, down from the B+ for the first film. The original was a surprise smash, multiplying its opening weekend earnings nearly 4 times over to wrap up with $90 million domestically. A multiplier here means how much the film's total gross grows relative to its debut, showing how long it keeps audiences coming back. Black Phone 2 is aiming for that same endurance, positioning itself as the go-to horror blockbuster through the Halloween season. As for Blumhouse, they've got another sequel on the horizon, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, dropping in December via Universal. Meanwhile, over on the comedy side, Aziz Ansari's Good Fortune isn't exactly striking it rich. Lionsgate's offering is limping into third place with a projected opening weekend of just $5.9 million from 2,985 theaters, after a sluggish $2.4 million from Friday and previews. This $30 million flick, which Ansari wrote, directed and stars in, boasts a stellar lineup, including Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Sandra Oh and Keke Palmer, plus rave reviews and a B+ from Cinema Score. Yet it's struggling to gain traction. For those new to box office talk, these projections are educated guesses based on ticket sales trends, and they can shift as the weekend unfolds. But here's where it gets controversial. Why do original R-rated comedies like this one face an uphill battle in today's theatre scene? Is it the competition from streaming? Or are audiences craving something more familiar? It echoes the success of Sony's feel-good story One of Them Days, which raked in $50 million domestically earlier this year, proving originals can work if they hit the right note. In the runner-up spot, Disney's sci-fi adventure Tron Ares brought in $3 million on Friday, setting up an expected sophomore weekend of $11 million. a sharp 65% drop from its debut. That's led to a North American total of around $54 million over its first 10 days. Despite a weak domestic launch and lackluster international performance, this sequel, with its $180 million budget, isn't likely to break even in theaters. For beginners, a drop percentage shows how much ticket sales decreased from one weekend to the next, signaling if a movie is holding on to its audience or fading fast. It's a tight tussle for fourth place, where Warner Brothers' Oscar hopeful One Battle After Another is edging ahead with another $1.1 million on Friday, down 45% from last week's daily take. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, this modern epic has held steady week after week, but after 22 days, it's only amassed $59 million domestically. With a production budget exceeding $130 million, it's projected to lose about $100 million at the box office, a tough pill to swallow for such a high-profile team. And this is the part most people miss. Big budget flops like this raise eyebrows about whether studios are pouring too much into prestige projects that don't always pay off, or if the issue is marketing in a crowded market. Paramount's Roofman, led by Channing Tatum, is slipping to fifth, pulling in $1.1 million on its second Friday, and heading for a $3.6 million weekend, a 55% drop from its start. Its domestic gross is on track to reach $15.4 million by Sunday, which feels underwhelming given the... For context, even with a lower investment, movies need strong word of mouth to build momentum, and a big drop like this suggests it hasn't caught on as hoped. Also debuting this weekend, Angel Studios' World War II drama Truth Treason is screening in 2,106 theaters. The PG-13 thriller hauled in $1.1 million on Friday, projecting a $2.8 million opening and a sixth-place finish. It scored a glowing A from CinemaScore, which is pretty standard for Angel's faith-inspired. Directed by Luca Guadagnino and featuring a top-tier cast like Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield and Ayo Edebiri, it got a shout-out at CinemaCon in April. But negative buzz from its Venice Film Festival screening in August has hurt it, with a dismal C- from CinemaScore. For those scratching their heads, CinemaScore grades, ranging from A to F, reflect snap reactions from viewers right after the movie, giving a quick vibe check on how well it's resonating. Despite the star power and promotion, mixed reviews can really derail a film's buzz. As we wrap up this box office recap, it's clear that while horror sequels like Black Phone 2 are finding their groove, other genres and originals are facing headwinds. Do you think the industry should double down on proven franchises to guarantee returns? Or is it time to champion riskier, fresh stories that might redefine the field? And what about those big-budget disappointments, like Tron Ares or One Battle After Another? Are they cautionary tales of overambition, or misunderstood gems that deserve a second shot on streaming? I'd love to hear your take. Agree, disagree, or share your own predictions for the holiday season. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.